welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is good, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and I want to thank you for joining me for another video here on the channel. Today, of course, is our favorite day of the week, the Hot 10 Comics of the Week breakdown. If you guys aren't familiar with this one, I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I tell you which I'll be buying and which I'll be staying away from. But before we get started in the video, I want to remind you guys, if you're not currently a subscriber of the channel, hit that sub button for me, because once we get to 6,000 sub, I'm giving away this. So for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway, I've decided to give away this awesome Hulk versus Wolverine maquette, measured in about 1/10 scale, and of course features the incredible cover from Incredible Hulk number 181. So if you're a sub, when we get to 6,000, you have a chance to win this awesome statue. But that's not it. If you are a member of the channel, you're going to have a members only giveaway, and we're giving away this awesome custom original art Spider-Man swinging through New York City. So if you're not a member of the channel and are interested, you have a chance to win that thing. With that said, I want you to smash that like button for me and check out all the new merch I have available down below. You won't regret it. Now let's get into this week's breakdown. Starting off the list at the 10 spot this week is a copy of Batman number 608, the second print. This, of course, is the beginning of the Hush storyline and a cover art by Jim Lee. We just had a CGC 9.8 sell last week for $760, up 33% over the average. I actually love Jim Lee. He's one of my favorite DC artists. I grew up in the 90s, so all that artwork from that time frame, I absolutely love. But to me, I'm not spending $700 and change on a modern book. I just cannot do it. It's not in me, so for that, I'm staying away. At number 9 this week is another new book. It is a copy of Captain America number 111 in this iconic cover by the great Jim Steranko. That's the second week in a row we've had a great Jim Steranko cover on it. And a CGC 8.5 just sold last week for $250, up 20% over the average. Then we had a CGC 5.0 sale for $95, up 16% over the average. To me, this book is if you're a Jim Steranko fan and you like collecting his classic covers. Other than that, I can't see why you want to shell out this kind of money for a book like this, even though it is a Silver Age key. Is there something going on with Jim Steranko right now? Is he doing a CGC signing? Is that why we're having all these books sell? Let me know down in the comments. Other than that, I'd be staying away. Coming in at number 8 this week is another iconic cover. It is a copy of Web of Spider-Man number 32 and part 4 of one of my favorite storylines ever, Kraven's Last Hunt, and an amazing cover by the great Mike Zeck. We just had a CGC 9.8 copy of this one just sell last week for $390, up 5% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.4 sale of $120, up 14% over the average. I just want to own this book for the amazing cover. I do not want to shell out a ton of money for it. I remember when I got my copy, I paid like $20 for it in super high grade. I can't shell out over $100 for this one, but if you find a sleeper for a decent price, I'd jump on it. Other than that, I'd be staying away. At number 7 this week, and on the list for the better part of a month, it is a copy of Uncanny XMen number 101 and the debut of Jean Grey's new powers as she is reborn as the Phoenix, and a CGC 9.4 just sold last week for $1,300, up 14% over that average. Then we had a CGC 8.5 sale for only $685, up 13% over the average. I've been telling you guys, if you're a giant X-Men fan, you have to own this book. I say the higher the grade, the better. I'm all for buying it, only if you're a super X-Men fan. Other than that, I'm not liking a lot of Bronze Age keys right now, outside of the 7 or 8 that I'm always buying. Coming in at the 6th spot this week is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 19 and the first appearance of Matt Gargan, who becomes the Scorpion in issue 20, and a CGC 5.0 just sold last week for $300, up 5% over the average. Then we had a CGC 4.5 sale of $281, up an insane 25% over the average. Every time I talk about this book, if you own Amazing Spider-Man number 20, that's the book I'd rather have. Why go out and buy number 19? Yes, it's the first appearance of Matt Gargan, but I always want to own the first appearance of the villain they turn into. That to me is the better buy and what I'd spend my money on. At number 5 this week is Star Wars #1 and the first appearance of all the major Star Wars character we know and love, and a CGC 9.6 just sold last week for $1,100, up 15% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.2 sale of $472, up 9% over the average. Then we had a CGC 8.0 for $326, up 31% over the average. Every time I talk about this book, I tell you, if you're a giant Star Wars fan, you must own this book. However, I'm not shelling out the insane amount of money that the super high grades are going after. I bought my copy for around $100 a couple of years back. If you want to own this book, I suggest buying the grade that you're comfortable with and shelling out the amount of money that won't kill your pocket. For me, if you're a giant Star Wars fan, like I said, you have to own the book. Other than that, if you're not a huge Star Wars fan like me, I'm not buying this book right here, right now. Coming in at the 4th spot this week is a copy of New Mutants 98 and the first appearance of Deadpool, the Merc with a Mouth, a subject of the Weapon X program, and a CGC 9.4. A 9.4 was the high sale this week, just sold for $460, up 4% over the average. If you've been watching my channel long enough, I've been telling you I only want to own this book in a 9.8 in white pages. Any other grade, there's just way too many copies to go out and shell the amount of money that it's going for right now. Wait for this movie to come out, die down, and then pounce on a copy of this one, but only in a 9.8 for $1,500 or less. That's what I'm looking to do. Oh no, at the 3 spot this week is what else? Wolverine #1 and the first appearance of Yukio and this iconic cover by the great Frank Miller. It pains me to say that we just had another CGC 9.8 sell for $700, up 2% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.6 sale for $300, up 12% over the average. And then a CGC 9.2 for $159, up 1% over the average. Why is this book still on this list? We had a 1% gain last week, and all of a sudden it's at the 3 spot. You guys are nuts. Get this book off the list, Key Collector. You hear me? Get it out. It is not worth it. Too much money to spend on this one. If you bought it way back when, it may be worth it to sell your copy now. Other than that, stay the hell away from this one. At number 2 this week and falling 1 spot from the top spot, it is a copy of Uncanny XMen #130 and the first appearance of Dazzler. We heard the rumor last week that Taylor Swift may be taking on the role of this character. I'm not buying it. And we had a CGC 9.8 sell last week for $1,600, up 21% over the average. Then we had a CGC 8.0 sale of $175, up 22% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.2 newsstand copy sell for $266, up 17% over the average. There's no way in hell I'm spending this kind of money on the first appearance of the Dazzler. Even if you're an X-Men fan and you want to own the book, you can get a lower grade, probably a very fine for around $200 and change. If you want to spend that much, I certainly don't. Stay the hell away from the high prices and the rumors that this book is dealing with right now. And coming in at the top spot this week and new to this list is a big one. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man #300 and the first full appearance of Venom. Yes, there it is. I said it, the first full appearance. And we just had a CGC 9.8 newsstand copy of this one sell for a crazy $13,500, up 2% over the average. Then we had a CGC 9.2 direct edition sell for $856, up again 31% over the average. You guys know I love Venom, I love Amazing Spider-Man, and this is one of the few Copper Age books I definitely want to own. Now, I don't say you have to go out and buy a 9.8 newsstand or even a 9.8, even though I would love it. For me, I own a 9.2 signed by Todd McFarlane. For me, I think that's a good deal right now if you can find a nice price book around that range. No need to go out and get a 9.6 or a 9.8. Get the 9.2. To me, that's the grade I want to own, and I do own it. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Some new books, some of the same stuff we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks, and not a lot of buys from me this week, unfortunately. It is now time for my Best Buy of the Week, and you guys know I'm doing it. It's Amazing Spider-Man #300, but only in a 9.2 or higher. Too many books, too many copies of this one out there. I'd be staying to the higher grades, but don't overspend for this book. Because of those copies out there, I just think that everyone wants to own it, yes, but you can always get this book anywhere. There's a dime a dozen, unfortunately. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.